more importantly,
Можете разговаривать.
So let's finally discuss one of my favorite topics. All these topics are favorite, but this is really like the top. Can we, in fact, listen to another person? I'll give you one coaching tool that's very simple and very efficient. That's any coach uses it daily. I mostly listen the way I'm going to be telling you in terms of this focused and global listening. So this is really, really precious. You can use it as much as you want in your class, during any communication, like at home, with your friends, etc. This works really, really nice. So there's three basic types of listening, which is internal. We also call it like surface, you know, like listening on the surface. Like. Then focused and global listening. So let's discuss the first one, and I really like the picture here because that's the true thing that is happening. Yeah. So, but before that, I have a question. Do you recall the time, the situation when someone was really like listening to you attentively, carefully, like understanding who you are, appreciating what you're saying?
It happens so.
How does it feel?
It is really great.
Like, imagine just a simple listening exercise can provoke such a feeling in another person, just feeling empowered. And that's possible, of course, yes, so let's learn how to do that. But most communication happens on this level. And that's exactly where most misunderstandings happen as well. What do we do here when it's internal listening? It's basically we hear ourselves. So someone is saying something, and then you focus on yourself and your experience. So he says or she says something, and you think about your feelings and thoughts. You think, oh, what does it mean to me, and stuff like that. And in fact, we don't hear the person, what he's actually saying. And I'll give you an example, like a friend is telling another friend, oh, I really liked this movie. And the answer is, oh my God, how can you like this movie? It's nothing, it's like, the director is, it's just awful, you don't have a taste. So I took into account my opinion about my friend or acquaintance. I dragged him into the conversation, I made a whole statement, and I even didn't ask why he liked that particular movie. Or another example which I really like was this looking for a job. So a friend is telling another friend, I think I'm going to quit my job. What he says is like, don't do that. Don't do that. You are going to be sorry. Because he recalls immediately his own situation when he was looking for a job and how miserable he felt, not being able to pay for the bills. And he says, don't do that. Did he listen to what's behind this desire of that? No. So this is exactly what is happening on this surface or internal listening. So we don't do this, okay? We don't do this. Not here we will learn how to do the focused and global listening. And the second one is what I always do during the coaching. If we compare, for instance, there's this spotlight, in this first type of listening, the spotlight is on the person. Then you talk, the spotlight is on me. I talk, the spotlight is on me, then on the other person, then on me, and it goes like this. This is the first time when the spotlight is actually on the person who talks. So we focus on him, and hear all the details, what's behind the words. Like we clarify, we reflect, we repeat something or ask to repeat, and we try to understand what it means for a person and what it means for the development of the person. And I think this is also a very important idea in this listening exercise and in general in coaching approach. What I really like, what I really love about my job is that one of the ideas is that everything happens in the right, not in the right time, but all changes are inevitable and everyone is okay. Like when someone is complaining to you or saying something about the job, and you are you do is focused listening. You accept the person as he or she is like a whole, like he or she is okay. Because, for instance, that's why I like coaching approach more than just training or I'm not telling you what is the best. I don't know for your particular situation in the class. But if I give you a tool and then you realize that this person is behaving this way, And this is the kind of situation where I might use this focus listening, etc. So I enable you and empower you to use all these tools, all your previous experience, to structure the lesson or the class as as good as you can, because I really believe you can. So if you get into this habit of listening to the person and honestly, truly feeling that he or she is okay, he doesn't or she doesn't need to be fixed, nothing is wrong with her or him. It's a truly, whenever I work with my own coach, and we work on Skype, we're not even physically present, she's from Netherlands, whenever every time after the coaching session, I feel like I'm so kind of high, I'm relieved, I have the wings, I'm so empowered because she's listening to me, having not the slightest doubt that I won't be able to overcome, a challenge or a difficulty. And this is so empowering. So focused listening is about the fact that the other person is okay and fully competent in something. Like if she wants to find a job or to change the job, this will be she will do it, this is her project, and I'm here to listen and maybe to reflect and to ask her, how do you feel about that? Or what is really important for you now? And it's important to put your inner dialogue and stop here, or at least on hold, just and put the spotlight on that person. Easy as that. And this is exactly this time when we were debating that now in the break, these various situations, like in the class, what may happen. If you listen like that to a person, this is where the wisdom, the humor, and what else, the energy comes in. Because you the situation is, you see so much more, You understand how is better now to phrase something, or maybe humor would do, things like that. But it only happens if you put the inner dialogue on hold, and I assure you, you can do this. It's possible. The last, the global listening, is about when you read between the lines and you focus on intonation, on the mood, on the reason. For instance, like this lady who wants to change the job, she says that she's really discouraged and she's worried because she might need to have professional, some training, before she gets another job. But when she begins to talk about another job, her friend actually feels the energy and the hope and so much good mood in her voice, and he basically reflects it back to her, saying, "Look, you sound you sound like this and this and this. You sound like you really look forward to that." So she feels at this moment that she's appreciated and understood fully. And basically, yes, it is also the the way to understand how what the person is saying fits into the bigger picture of his or her life, and it doesn't mean really whether you know this person well or not. And it's really listening about the world around the observation and intuition. And my teacher at the coaching school told us that we can even go to a cafe, sit somewhere, and do this global listening thing. Like, how different cities or different places, they differ in their mood, right? Like, I don't know, a Turkish bazaar or, a Ukrainian vegetarian cafe or, things like that. So the whole, mood is different. So sit and observe, and I'm going to now suggest you to do a very nice exercise. Will be ears. So basically, I invite you to work, like the two of you, and to practice all these types of listening. Importantly, also the first one, the internal, when we don't stop our dialogue, our inner dialogue. And you're free to choose the situation in the class, for instance, or anything else, or just practice it for the sake of practicing, because I really want you to feel how it is, how it feels when someone is listening to you, fully focused on you. Let's do that. And you do it both ways. Like first you're listening on this first level. I can put the description. It will be here on the screen. Let's maybe put this focused or whatever or I can change if you want.
So you want us to practice all three types of listening? how long should we speak?
No, just a little bit to understand that you're there, you got the idea, then you speak in the other direction, you change the roles, and then maybe I don't know 7 or 6 or 10 minutes. I'm not that good in time managing, but just tell me how you progress now.
For us to know,
Just for you to understand how it looks, how it
internal is like that.